Okay, so this is a quick 2020 quick 5 test. Great. So hopefully this video we're just trying to show how to implement the, the package that I provide. So we've got an empty scene, standard 3D project, 2019, long-term support, although why they keep changing the versions of the long-term support, I don't know. Anyway, so from here, we're going to get the asset store out here. Can bring up invector. Oh, we're going to have the big sale, hopefully, coming soon. Anyway, invector. Light, if it's good. I'm going to hide it from us. Good grief. Right, invector. Third person controller, there we go. So this is the free one. We can also, I might develop my own controller, but I do like the animations and everything sorted out. I don't really like going through the animations. And I'd much rather, like I said before, offload code support onto someone who's producing a decent product and then has a free version. Like use the free version. If you're going to go commercial, use the commercial one. Right, okay, so that's that. We'll move this along a bit and put that back in there. That way. Back to scene. Okay, so we've got invector. And we just need, well, let's import the package. Add assets. And I'm going to provide this custom package. Hookshot 5. I'm going to provide a zip file, unzip it. So you've got this. Import the package. Import it all. It said FPS script 7 there. But hey, let's, right, first person. At the top. First person. Hookshot Mark 5. Drag that in. Make sure it's set at zeros. 0, 0. Get rid of the main camera and directional light because we've already got one in there. We haven't got the textures, but if you want to, I don't really care about the textures. You can do your own. Although, to be honest, I might be able to provide them because I think they were provided free anyway, though, from Terrain Toolkit. But anyway, we'll keep it as it is. Okay, so make sure that's the right. Yep, FPS Code 8. I'm going to set all the dependencies up. So let's go into invector, prefabs, boom, boom. That should, I think that hooks up straight away. We'll just find out. We're going to have all sorts of errors. Okay, so camera, let's go to, make sure, yeah, it's all inspector, target, we'll just drag controllers to target. Right, we've got all sorts of warnings. Hookshot origin has not been assigned. So we've got to go to the controller. We need to break this prefab, the Hookshot 5. Unpack prefab. Now we need to put the origin into the controller. Because it gets a bit annoying. Right. Good assets, first person. We're looking for hookshot origin. Yeah, Mark 4 should be fine. We drag that in, and we want that to be in. First of all, we don't need hips. Spine. We need to put first the origin into the spine thing, and that has these audio files, and that's where we're going to fire the hookshot's origin. That's great. Now we also need to put in the camera. We move out of that. But we get rid of that origin there because we've already put it into the light one. Now we put the head camera in here. So irritating. Can I just copy it? Copy. Should I? I'll tell you what. I think I'm just going to put in head camera, and there's a prefab. There we go. And delete that. And then drag it head camera, open prefab, head camera. And you need to put it at the head. Spine, neck, there we are. Ugh, it's all open. You don't need the shoulder, you don't need that. You can find the neck, go up to the top of the head, right, head top. I think it's probably there. Put the head camera in, there, and then, yeah, set it zeros. Just be looking the wrong way. Offset it a bit, like that. Yeah, get rid of the rotation. Seems to be about right. I might need to adjust that. You've also got to may need to change these clipping planes, but I think they're set properly. Okay, so we're out there. So what we've done there is in the armature, we've put in the spine, at the base of the spine, we've put the hookshot origin with 2 sound effects in, and top of the spine, we've put the extra camera on the neck. Okay, there. You can even put it at the top and then lower it down. It might be a better bet. I'm going to try it. Let's see if it works. Okay, so now we need to find our hookshot 5, audio source, audio fire, audio ratchet, that bit, hook origin. We find the hook origin, drag that in there. We've got something else, line renderer. There's only one there. It's in the hook origin. First person camera. We put for head camera. And then effect controller. We just find it here. Controller. Drag that in there. Invector camera. Drag that in there. Hook origin. We've been setting until hit play. Right. So F to get rid of the big displays. We've got our things up there. One changes the camera. Okay, so the problem is we've now got to, so it's all working. Left click, and then probably need to figure out a way of retracting the hook. When we turn around and look at our face, if we just use forward key, that will get rid of that kind of this sort of business. We really need to do something that when we turn like 180 degrees or 90 degrees from the camera. The offset. Oh, okay. That, well, like from there, you should just have an auto forward press. So, okay, this is all working, but the trouble is, when it escapes get out, the problem now is we've got to edit the invector code. Assets, invector scripts, and we've got to go through motor, controller. We don't need to bother with the animator. We're not going anywhere near that. We just need to go to these three and put some various things in to switch off invector whilst we're doing the flying. Otherwise, what happens is if we fire it, well, and it does this sort of business. I've also noticed there's an error there with the origin. It's offset. There we go. So we've got to make sure that those are set at zeros so that the origin has to be locked into the spine. It can't have its own coordinates. That was caused by dragging it in. Because they are set at 0 from the import, but when we drag it again from the prefab, it mixes up numbers. So we've got to make sure that everything, well, not everything, but there we go. We've got this problem where the invector controller is fighting the grapple. So we've got to fix that. And yeah, so like I said, the hookshot origin has to be 0, 0, 0, and so does the camera, head camera 0, 0. Okay, there's a slight offset there, and that's to get it in the right position, but not massive numbers. Now, okay, so the next thing is to edit these, and I do that on a separate video. But if you can get this far, we're almost there and ready to go. We save that scene. I'll save as scene test 5 A1. So what have we done in this lesson? We've imported the invector controller light. We've imported the invector camera light. We've added a head camera to the head, which has a built-in spotlight, and we've added a hookshot origin to the spine with 2 sound effects. Did I set them up, the sound effects? Hookshot 5, yeah, there, that's right. We've set the sounds just by going into there. The rope transform is something we'll come to later when we create line-based ropes, but for now we're just using a line renderer. That's future. Hook origin, we set that up. We set those up. Debug, transform is just a box, so is this one. The debug box I've made flat and invisible. No mesh renderer, but it has got a collider on it. We've got a cube platform, which is just this with a shader forge glass shader on it. It's free to use. Open source, brilliant. Shader forge amazing. Check it out. I do some other stuff on that, like making water at some point. And this one is just again a squished sphere with a mesh collider rather than a sphere one. They're just platforms to jump on and play with. But we can't do that at the moment, because the most important thing to do now is to edit these codes, the invector code, to switch it off while we're doing stuff. Keys 1 and 2 to switch between cameras. I'll get back to the hookshot. We've set up a head camera, first person, and we've got the invector camera for third person, and the controller set there. Because we've added references here, we can now have the head camera move with the other camera. So as that camera's moving, that camera moves, and so does the origin. so it flies in the right direction. It's all very clever and have fun going through the code. Like I say, it's Creative Commons. Use code for whatever you purpose you like. But these videos are attribution. Got to attribute me for this. The other license Creative Commons are attribution, but the actual code, do what you like with it. Also, have a look at YouTube and grapple guns. There's a lot of different ones out there, but this one is specifically aimed at Unity, standard render, and what's it? An invector. Trying to get invector to work. And the invector free version. If I get enough interest, I will create a tutorial on how to use the proper invector. I think you could probably just adapt this, but with the proper invector, they have another state machine implementation, modular state machine that you can use, which they use in the zip line that they provide, which is also very cool, but it does cost money. Okay, so that's this, and the biggest step really is to edit these codes with invector-like scripts, character controller, to figure out how to switch them off with mouse input, keyboard input, and cover that in the next video, or a video coming soon. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.